Welcome back, Keepers of the Flame. Okay, so today is a good day for planning, getting all your cookies in a row, your ducks, your chickens, your seeds, whatever you're planting for the new year. Um, Not a good day to implement anything yet, but it's a good day to look at your calendar or start jotting down goals, aspirations, ideas, possibilities. And you don't have to set exact dates for them, but it's a good idea to have that scope happening in your mind and then getting it out on some paperwork to fine tune at a later date. Okay, so don't be afraid to do that today if you feel the urge to just kind of wiggle on over to a calendar and be like, hey, or just wiggle on over to a notebook and be like, I want to get this done this year. I want to get this done within these amount of months with this and this amount of weeks. Blah 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 blah. Whatever it is, okay. Um, Nothing is on the chopping board block, okay, except for getting a to-do list done. Or a unwinds I have plans for, whatever it is that's going to fuel you, float your boat. um you know Even if it's, I want to do this less, I want to do this less, and I want to do more of this. 2026 is definitely attending to one's energetic forces. I want to spend more time doing this and then kind of jam over there. Like, kind of squiggle your way over into that area and kind of let that old whatever the hell you don't like fall off. Especially at the beginning of the year until February 20th. February 17th is when the year of the snake ends and the year of the horse begins. So getting everything kind of in modalities that are feasible, plannable, step by steps. Again, do not implement anything yet. I had that struggle this morning. I'm like, I really want to do this right now. Let's do it. And the universe is like, you need to calm your just shit. I know I'm making it a pinch for you. I know I'm squeezing you, but like, we're going to do this right. So, here we grow, right? Okay. So, making sure that you're just getting it all out, that you're not leaving anything out. And again, this is just the rough draft, so who the fuck cares? Okay, if you're worried about people seeing it and judging it and saying there's no fucking way, those people probably need to be on the list of people that need to get the fuck away from you. Okay. Legit. It is that kind of year. It is that kind of year. We are not fucking around and finding out any longer. Waiting for people to sabotage what means the most to us, because they do not have the trunk to go get it themselves. Okay. So rather than worrying about everybody else who's trying to stifle your fire, just make them put on shades. Just make them put on shades, boo. Like that lady says. Soul plus joy, I think she calls herself. Lights. Go look it up. It's great tune. But there's no room for that anymore. There's not only are they gonna have to fuck around and find out without you lifting a finger, but you need to just walk away and vet them out of your energy force field. Because by you staying and letting them do what they're doing to you, it is enabling them to continue on their crap paradigm programming pattern. Now, if you're tuning into this channel, you know that's not what your life force is for. So, okay. We've been trained that if we don't tie ourselves to what society tells us to tie ourselves to, we somehow fail. We are a failure. We suck at life. We ought to go blah, 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 right? Noticing a pattern. It is a way to, it is It is a control mechanism to keep those who would rebel against the system that is so toxic. You see this in every single... I think I've went through this. I just watched some fucked up thing last night. A bunch of fucking psychologists talking about mental illness. And the way they were talking about these people is not only were they objects, they were puppets. They were, might as well have been rats in a cage. Like, and it's a pandemic. It's happening a lot. There's a lot more calls for mental health care institutions to be upped. And they are expanding, by the way. Everybody thinks they're going away. They're not. For all the ones that are going away, they're just making bigger ones. Okay? So we need to be diligent about that. We need to make our plans safe, sound, secure, and for the highest good of all, rather than getting involved in any sort of drama. Like I said, the people that would poo-poo your life's purpose, your goals, your ambitions, whatever it is, need to go. For your benefit, for their benefit, and for whoever you could assist in the future's benefit. This is not a time to fuck around. One more time. Not a time to fuck around. Because there are so many people that believe if you don't get out there and work for a billionaire corporation, you are an abomination. They genuinely believe that. If you are not working for some sort of needing, how do you say that? Needing all the time attention in Pentacles' department of not justice, of not producing good food, of not producing positive outcomes, of leaving the elderly out to dry when they have spent decades dedicating their lives so this billionaire could be on top of the fucking world. See, and that's their mental illness, and we're not here to convince them otherwise. We are here to drop it like it's hot, and create something new. That's what I'm saying, is the more you engage in the arguing and the fiery nature of fighting, you're going to just give them so much more ammunition to go back to say, well, you know, she didn't appreciate it when I told her this, so she told me blah, 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 blah. When in reality, you just walk away from it. Just walk away. Because the more you fight and try to bring them to any sort of sanity and reason, this is why we call them insane. Think about that. Think the fuck about that. Insane. So what does it mean to be out of sane? Like out of sanity? Do you see what I'm saying? It is a circle jerk that they are on, and they are like, we like the circle jerk. We think the circle jerk is great. Because the circle jerk puts Pentacles in our bank account. Yeah, until a certain point, and then you're kind of effed. Okay, so not a year to fuck around and find out, kids. Not a year. Get off the billionaire crazy train driving the genocidal, femicidal narrative forward. Okay, get off of it. Just remove yourself. Okay? Just remove. Stop engaging. Okay? It's a difficult task. I completely comprehend that. I am not in disagreement with that at all. But what I am telling you is that there's a group of us that have seen enough. We've seen more than enough. We have grandmothers who told us about all the atrocious things that happened to them in these. We have even celebrities that were sent to particular mental health care camps, whatever the heck it was, and were brutalized. Do you see what I'm saying? So who's insane and who's out of sane? Who's standing in sanity and who's standing outside of it? You see what I'm saying? It's like an intentional joke that almost seems to be somehow fed some sort of creepy substance to keep going, because you would have to be on some sort of creepy substance to think that that's a wise decision. You would just have to be. There's no freaking way. I mean, I don't know what they're putting in the water or what the deal is. Hey, 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 hey. They can argue and fuss and fight and work it out how they need to. The cats are having a slight disagreement. Very gently playing. And the dog, like, Anyway, so we need to recall our energy, coil it back, and shove it in a different direction, because that's not it. You are arguing with people about how you're supposed to live your own life. Don't do it. Know the energy, know the way it conducts itself, and just 2026. So you have until February 17th, between the 17th and the 20th. Plan it out, get it on in accordance, and they're currently trying to get our attention back again by, taking this, that, and the other thing away, punishing us for this, that, and the other thing, but they don't comprehend energy, they don't know how any of that works, and we're just gonna let them stay that way. Okay. Even if they were to tune in to my current channel, they would, because if they were in the right mindset, in the right frequency, I should say, and again, it's not a high frequency, it's a particular pattern frequency. It's not up or down, it's just on a different frequency. There's no levels here. That's why I get frustrated with the high vibe community. There's no high vibe. It's all springing out from the inside of you. So if your vibration is only high, okay. So we just really need to cycle this through and ask Spirit for help. Take those deep breaths. Go, okay, I really need your assistance on thinking clear here. Ask for, whatever energetic guides, angels, ascended master, energy pattern you want to bring in for clarification. There's tons of them that will help you gain clarity. You just look it up. What is the name of the energy pattern that will help me, or energy, well, God, goddess, angel, ascended master, deity. Okay. And then call them in however you need to call them in. Because sometimes just calling their name helps and does it. And sometimes you need to light a candle. You need to get a few stones together. You need to write a letter. You need to bring, feathers in or whatever you're working with, right? Sometimes they like a particular color. Whatever it is. And just ask. How are we going to move this forward? How best can we operate this? Can you show me the energetic patterns that are moving through this operating system? Is it serving humanity? Is it not serving humanity? Can you give me examples, please and thank you? And I would be willing to bet the majority of the loss has already happened. And there's just one thing hanging on. There's just one or two things that are like, I don't wanna. And you're like, you gotta go, because you are, it's not that they're bad or wrong, harmful, whatever. We don't need to label any of that. There's just certain people who cannot hold your energy. They cannot hold your energy. Okay, so you're going to turn into a pinball machine when you get around that person, because they do not know what to do with your energy. That's the other problem we do not accept about human beings. is there's some of us who are so intense that we will just automatically, we don't even have to think about it. We are already there. We're already there in that energetic force field that is creating completely unconsciously a catalyst, whatever the heck it is, okay? Catharsis operation behind the scenes. We're already doing that for everybody we encounter. We're already doing it, and that pisses a lot of people off. It pisses them off royally because it demands spiritual expansion and growth. It demands it. And 2026 is not the year to be around those people. I cannot express this enough. 2026 is not the year to be around those people. Okay? Because they're going to blame all the things. They're going to blame all the things on you. They're going to say that you did it. That you blah, 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 blah. And when all you're doing is bringing energy to their attention. You're just going, here's the energetic pattern you're causing out in the world. Did you want to knock it off yet? And they're going to be like, no, this is perfectly acceptable. And you'd be like, but it's not, because it's causing harm. And then they'll accuse you of, what do they call that? Shoot the messenger type of energy. Yeah, I would not wear white this year either, boys and girls. Just saying. If you thought you were getting married, I wouldn't do it. Yeah, that's why they make you wear white. Because you are being shuffled off a cliff. You do not exist as a human being after you... Yep. Okay. That's why they designed it the way they designed it. Everything means something. That's not to say if you're married right now and you wore a white wedding dress that all of a sudden that's going to be true for you. Because if it was, you probably wouldn't be that person anymore. But the energetic pattern is very real. And it would have had to have taken a lot to overcome that. A lot. So if you did, freaking kudos and congratulations. Rock on. Please write a book so the rest of us can see how the heck that actually works. Because, yeah, I'm going to think real hard and long before I say this. I have never in my life met a happy married person. Not one. Never in my life have I met a happy married person. So. Alright. I'd be willing to meet a happy married couple. Absolutely. But I'd be willing to bet that's not how we were ever supposed to be in relation to each other. I don't think that's ever how we were supposed to ever operate. You coexist with one person for your entire life. Every day. Now, I don't have the answer as to what the opposite or the alternative would have been, but more like a tribal community where, you know, the mothers that were giving birth had a community support system there, and everybody was in charge of making sure the children were safe. It wasn't just two people or one person's job. The whole community was in charge of making sure that the children were safe in the community. I don't know what happened to it, but there's no fucking way you could trust that in today's kind of society. There's no way. And that's part of the reason why I believe that, like, whatever the heck the narrative on the planet is mass extinction is the end goal. Right, Faye of the Sows? She's over here scratching on her kitty cat tree. So, can't stress enough how planning your year out for your goals, and it could be for business, it could be for whatever, it could be, and it might be a lot of things. It might be, you know, you need to leave the country, you need to move, you need to, You know, get a stable, whatever it is, underneath your feet. Get a steady job. Get a community of support behind you, with you, around you, whatever it is. And for some of you, you could have already started a family and you just need to now get to a place where it is safe. Some of you could be looking into doing the shamanic, traditional path of shamanic medicine, right? I'm just going to keep shuffling cards, chit-chatting about planning the year ahead. So whatever it is for you, however radical it might sound to everybody else, write it down and sleep with it under your pillow. Ask the universe for divine guidance through your sleep. If you're the type that doesn't dream much, Neptune's still in freaking Pisces. I would ask that particular modality to be activated before that leaves. You got till February 20th, so you got plenty of time to work on it and get your body in those cycles, especially with Uranus moving into Gemini. Okay? Get yourself a good dream pattern regime going. Just because you never dreamed before doesn't mean you can't now. And don't expect it to show up the way other people tell you it to show up. A lot of times, I remember my dreams just as I'm waking. Just as I'm waking, and that little spout of DMT gets released, and then the whole thing comes into my recall. Okay? Some people literally are like dreaming the whole night. Well, dream state comes usually between 6 and 8 hours in, depending on how much sleep you get. So there's a sleep cycle that's there. But some people, not everybody's the same. Like some people can take a 15-minute nap and report to you what the heck they saw in their dream. Okay? What else is good to plan for? Getting safe in the body. That needs to be number one. So that way when you are making choices and you do sit down and clarify all of these plans and put them into motion, you're in a safe space in your own body. Sometimes that involves getting some calming tea, lavender, chamomile, lemon balm. All really nice calming teas for this central nervous system. It's going to be a doozy today and tomorrow. Well, it was a doozy last night, but what else do we need to plan out for the year? Celebratory time, celebration, making a conscious effort to bring joy into your everyday life. Consciously, not just like, oh, this nice surprise popped in. No, you're gonna put that bitch on your schedule. You're like, this brings me joy, I'm doing it, get the F out of my way. That kind of like yum energy, that also creates safety in the body when you know you have joy right at your fingertips, irregardless of what's happening. We have this weird thing in society that we have to be in one panic mode, and oddly enough, guys like to do that. Guys like to make sure that you know that you're supposed to be panicking when you're supposed to be panicking and whatever else. Like, don't let them do that to you. You're like, I think we're going to be just fine. We just need to sit down and calm our shit and think through the problem. They don't seem to agree with that too much. So, and it could be like the masculine doing his, you know, we gotta get stuff done thing. And you're like, okay. Alright. I'm gonna sit down and think about it for a little bit. And make sure that what I'm doing is in my best interest rather than some billionaire's best interest. And that's the sad part. Is the men don't realize they're being played and used as unpaid shills as well. So, keep that in mind. They're being used as unpaid shills. And in their subconscious, they know it. They just don't see another way forward. So I'm not saying let them in and trample you like you're a freaking doormat. I'm saying be mindful and compassionate about it without becoming the freaking pin cushion. Okay? Don't need to be a pin cushion for anybody. Especially people that are trying to recruit you into a toxic narrative and a toxic system that only wants your... Okay? But not after or before, I should say, before draining your bank account and your vital life force energy and using your womb and yada yada yada. Okay? Not all men! Okay, then it's you. Definitely you. Definitely you. Okay? But there's a huge movement of people that are all finished having to sift through romantic partners just to figure out that it wasn't what they were sold in the beginning. So, rather than trying to be sold, work on just being a genuine human. Just work on that, being a genuine human. When that genuine connection is supposed to come in, cool. If it's not supposed to come in, you make peace with that. Just like you make peace with, you know, not being alive anymore. You make peace with it. Once you make... Hi, baby! Yeah? You want to come up? Come on. Hop, hop. You want my scoot bag? Yes, I do have I got both my legs down. Come on. It's alright. Yeah. So the face. Oh, and I just got a face full of hair. Oh. Anyway, so just make sure that safety in the body continues to be a thing. If it is in any way compromised, you can get down now. Then you just tell it to stop. Oh. The dog's traipsing around the house. She's like, oh, food dish. So, safety in the body is number one. Anybody gets in the way of that, anybody tries to stomp on your plans, your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, toodles. Toodles, toodles, toodles. Your purpose here is too important. Your lifespan is too crucial. Do not let anyone shorten it. Determine in which direction it should go. That needs to come from within. It's the only place I can't tell you. Your therapist can't tell you. Pastor can't tell you. Parents can't tell you. You have to find that within yourself. Okay? So when you're planning, make sure it lights you up. Doesn't need to light mom and dad up. Doesn't need to light hubby up. Doesn't need to light the children up. It needs to light you up. Because otherwise you're just going to abandon it anyway. This is why, like, all those gym and diet plans are never going to work. Because you don't want to do it. Stop doing shit you don't want to do. Well, my doctor said, find a program that works for you then. Stop doing all the things that make you miserable. Start something that's fun. Hold a dance party every freaking night. If you live in a house where you can't have a dance party every night, you in the wrong fucking house. You are in the wrong fucking house. If you cannot fucking blare some tunes and shake your freaking trauma off your tuchus, you in the wrong house. You hear me? Okay. Have I had a freaking dime, penny, and nickel for every time I heard from some chick, I can't do that. I said you wouldn't like it. What? Why are you even then? Fucking ew. I get that it'll wake the children up, so put your headphones on. But if you are living in a house where you cannot have your own space to do your own thing for your own health, okay? Okay. So, yeah. 2026. Not only the year of planning, but year of making sure that your freak flag is just a normal thing. And it flies 24/7. It's just a normal thing. Just another day in your house where you're shaking your tuchus and getting that trauma worked out of your system. Singing the songs you want to sing. Painting the paintings you want to paint. All that good gravy. Okay? All of it. Do not hesitate. Just because you think somebody else is going to think it's bad or wrong. God, that just breaks my heart. Every time I have to think about going, he would never like that. She would think I was dumb. Then why are you... Why? Why are you living with somebody who's going to hate you for who you are? And I should talk because, like, my whole family, like, it's a major caboose. So I was kind of hated for who I was. But it's taught me to, like, redirect my energy. Why am I going where I know I'm hated? Why am I staying where I know I'm hated? Why can't I be someplace where I'm going to be loved and celebrated? Why? Because my pattern says so? Because my childhood told me that was my instruction manual? No. And that's the other thing, too, is religion will definitely put that into you, especially if you're a girl. God forbid you should have a sprig of hair outside of your whatchamacallit or a whatever the heck. So much hatred. So much hatred for simply existing that it's... Ooh, and they're trying real hard to reverse the narrative with all the Sophia and the Mary propaganda going on. We didn't mean it like that. Yeah, you did. Mary means rebel, by the way. Uh-oh. So, I'll let you know that. Right? Get that Mary Magdalene in your whatchamacallit practice, okay? But just keep in mind that when you're planning, if somebody's not going to like your plans, they're probably not meant to come on the plans with you. I love you. Till next time. Keep